do a 30-day cleanse, and I'm glad you brought that up. But there's burdock root, there's sheep sorrel, there's slippery elm bark, there's Turkish rhubarb. There's all these different herbs that are in that fluorescence that not only are going to help you detox and clean your blood, but they're going to also fight cancer cells. So that's kind of a double whammy, and it's not that expensive either. So people can afford that.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, Rense Case, Caisse, her last name Essiac, was the name that she gave the tea that the Ojibwe Indians gave her, Essiac tea, came within one vote in the Canadian National Parliament of having the legal right to set up cancer clinics throughout all of Canada using that tea as a therapeutic treatment. One vote. At the last minute, the medical monopoly got in there and bribed off one or two people, and that was the difference. That's how close she got. Yep.
And you know what? The interesting thing is about that, Jeff, is the reason that happened is because Renee Case, and actually her last name Case, if you go backwards, that's Essiac. So that's where she got the name, as SAT. It's her last name spelled backwards.
Right.
But she wanted to make sure that everyone always was able to afford to take this, and so she wanted to make it free for people that were poor, and they wouldn't go along with that. They wanted to charge an arm and a leg for it, and because she insisted that it be free for those that couldn't afford it, it was voted down.
Well, that's what Royal Rife wanted to do. He had an idea to put up broadcast towers all over the city of San Diego and simply, while people were working or asleep, broadcast frequencies which killed the cancer organisms in their bodies. Yep,
and they didn't like that.
No.
Morris Fishbein didn't like that too much, did he?
No, and they sent down...
They had the AMA at that time.
Yeah, and they sent down, believe it or not, he's a Zionist, they sent down 2 Zionist real estate, I call them thugs from Hollywood, to intimidate, threaten, and really try to destroy Rife's work. It's an incredible story of that man, what he did.
Oh,
and what was
it was
taken
unbelievable.
From all
I mean,
they
stole his microscope, they burned down his lab. Some of his supporters died under, let's just say, suspicious circumstances. And then the knockout blow, the police illegally confiscated the rest of his 50 years of research, okay? So basically, they just destroyed Rife. He was curing cancer. He didn't want to charge an arm and a leg for it. He didn't want to sell them his data. He wanted to do it for next to nothing because he actually cared about people.
Right.
And so they basically just destroyed his practice, and he ended up dying in jail.
And he got out in 1972. He died. 71. He died.
Oh, that's right. He did get out. Yeah.
Look, this man was the greatest medical scientific genius of our age, and nobody knows about him. You won't find him in the government schools and the textbooks. None of that. It's a true.
No, and you know what really irks me, Jeff, is when some other alternative talk show host, and I won't name any names, they start talking about these frequency machines and these electromedicine guys like they're a bunch of quacks. That really irks me because it just shows how ignorant these guys are of what really works.
A lot of them are ignorant, but a lot of them, believe it, have an agenda. And there's
you're right.
No question about it. All right, we just have a couple minutes with Ty, so I'm going to turn it over to him and just talk about whatever you'd like to, Ty.
Well, I guess I'd like to end up with just the fact that cancer does not have to be a death sentence. I mean, if you look at my website, cancertruth.net, it does not. It shouldn't be a death sentence. Cancer is a simple disease to reverse if you do it properly. So the first thing that you need to do upon diagnosis of cancer is you need to know what your options are. And so the whole purpose with me writing this book, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm a CPA, I'm just a researcher, but I put together a bunch of information, the most thorough, expansive data that I could find on cancer treatments, and I put it all in one place because knowledge is power. And so when you get that cancer diagnosis, or when one of your loved ones is diagnosed with cancer, you don't have time to waste. And so you need to know what your options are. You need to know what the treatments are that work. And so I would just encourage people, if you are diagnosed with cancer, and the statistics show that but in the next 10 years, 1 out of 2 is going to be diagnosed with cancer, that you're prepared. If you don't buy my book, buy somebody's book that's got it together. I don't know of a more exhaustive book than mine, so that's why I'm recommending it.
Ty, it's a masterpiece.
Read it and put it to memory,
and
then when you know that knowledge, you're going to be empowered to beat cancer because it does not have to be a death sentence. There are cures.
Many, and they're simple. Bicarbonate of soda. The Italians. Now, I could go. I have a master cancer file on these things, and
oh, that's great stuff. I take that almost every night. Sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, 1 tablespoon in water.
Good. Well, you're going to live to be 200. It's that easy. The Italian doctor, I've forgotten his name now, who found out that
Simoncini.
There you go. He's being persecuted, drummed out of the mainstream medical profession over there, and marginalized because he came up with something that works. There's no money in curing.
It only costs about 30 cents a day. That's not going to get anybody rich in the medical mafia, is it?
No. Of course, we know the game. The book is available at Ty's website. Where else can we get it?
The best place to get it is cancertruth.net. You've got the option there to have an ebook, or it'll send you over to Amazon to buy it. Barnes & Noble sells it. I'm also coming out here in the next couple months with an audio book. So that'll be coming up here before the end of the year, so you can listen to it in your car or on your MP3 player. So
good for you, Ty.
Best place to get it is cancertruth.net.
Excellent. Good for you. Thanks for being here tonight. Congratulations on the magnificent contribution to humankind. And I mean that.
Man, thank you, Jeff. I really enjoyed it, and you have a great night, my friend.
Okay, take care. All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ty Bollinger, and the book again, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I could amend that title. Cancer, Step Outside the Box and Reclaim Your Health and Live. All right, we'll be right back in just a few.